Since December 2020, Carry On Touring has been campaigning on behalf of creative touring professionals from all aspects of the creative industries, including music, fashion, acting, advertising production, film and TV, authors and artists, and all of the support staff associated with them. In the Brexit negotiations, the government failed to secure an EU-wide work permit for touring creatives and their crews, like myself, and it is already having a devastating impact on the industry. We are calling for a pan-European-wide visa and work permit waiver to be negotiated on our behalf. And this is the reason why it's so important.
My name's Andy Dockerty. I'm the Managing Director of Adlib Audio Limited. We supply sound, light and video equipment, plus all the technicians to major touring international artists who will be performing in both the UK and in Europe. The UK companies delivering these services are all world leaders, and the UK production industry is structured to serve the whole of Europe, not just the UK. Government's failings to negotiate any deal to allow touring from the UK around Europe is going to have catastrophic effects upon the creative industries, upon touring technicians, and consequently the UK economy. We hereby support Carry On Touring campaign to get the value of the sector recognised and a European deal negotiated.
Oh, hello. My name's Helen Smith, also known as Hell's Bells. I've been in the concert touring industry for almost 30 years, and I wanted to make my voice heard because Carry On Touring throughout Europe means that perhaps we can have some of our lives back again. We've been through a pandemic. We haven't worked for over 16 months. But to know that touring can't happen or won't happen, or it'll be tiny, with all the hoops that we have to go through, we need to support the Carry On Touring campaign. The government's failed to negotiate anything effective means that we could lose all of our careers all over again, which we have done for the last 16 months. And that no tours will carry on or do any, would be few tours in Europe. I'm a real person, I do a real job, and I've done it to the best of my abilities for 30 years. Everyone wants to see live music return. Let's make it return, and let's tour Europe. Let's give us a chance to come back again.
I'm David Knopfler. I'm a recording artist and founder member of Straits. I'm also a touring musician whose work has generated income for the Treasury for decades. The government's failure and frankly refusal to negotiate effectively for touring creatives means that I, and those I in turn employ, have lost the margin of profitability that would allow future tours to proceed. As things stand, forward planning is impossible. While stadium bands will manage to hire accountants and lawyers to deal with the massive increase in bureaucracy that Brexit's landed in their laps, the rules and regulations are too onerous for someone like me playing small €35 ticket concerts for 500 seaters. But that's where many thousands of artists are actually at. That is why I strongly support Carry On Touring's campaign to get tours on the road and us back to work. I'm a real person with a real life that had a real job. Boris Johnson's selfish intransigence has changed all that for the worse, and I am clear who needs to be held to account for this chaotic dog's dinner.
My name's Stuart McPherson. I'm the Managing Director of specialist transport company KB Event. We've serviced the entertainment industry for 29 years now. The government's failure to include our industry in the TCA means that my company can no longer continue to tour the EU as we always have done. That's why we continue to support Carry On Touring.
My name's Catherine Martin. I'm a freelance violinist and leader of the Gabrielli Consort and Players. I had a successful career, spending 2/3 of my working life playing concerts in the European Union, but the government's failure to negotiate for the arts will mean that I can no longer make a living as a musician. This is why I support Carry On Touring's campaign to get us all back to work.
I'm Stefano from FUPP. The government's failure to negotiate effectively for touring creatives means that we could be faced with the prospect of a significant decrease in touring opportunities across the UK and EU due to unsustainable extra costs and bureaucracy faced by artists, productions and crew. And that's why we support Carry On Touring to get tours back on the road and get us back to work. I'm a real person with a real life that has a real job.
My name's Tim Whelan and I'm a musician in the band Transglobal Underground. The government's failure to negotiate effectively for touring creatives means that we can no longer work effectively in the EU. For 30 years, we generated income, we generated activity, we brought money into the country. Now we're going to be a drain on resources instead of an asset. We'd like this not to happen to younger bands, and that's why we support Carry On Touring's campaign to get tours back on the road and us back to work.
Hi, I'm Debra Burns. I'm the MD and the founder of Boss Model Management. We represent over 300 fashion models and a number of creatives who work as fashion stylists and hair and makeup artists in the industry. We've always enjoyed a great deal of success, and we work not just in the UK but also in Europe and the rest of the world. Models work very regularly in the major fashion capitals in Europe, namely in Paris and Milan, but also other more commercial cities such as Barcelona and Hamburg and many others, not only for the shows but for also prestigious campaigns and editorials that are shot in Europe. This is fantastic for British models because it gives them an opportunity to work on a world stage and can make a really significant contribution to the trajectory of their careers. We now have to obtain visas, however, for models who are working in Europe, which is proving impossible. The problem being because our industry is extremely fast-paced and we don't get enough time to obtain a visa before the shoot date has passed. We have very little notice for jobs, and it just simply takes too long for the visas to come through. We're now unable to secure this work, which of course affects not only revenue for the individual models, but crucially it affects access to some of the world's most important clients in fashion. It is crippling and damaging to the career development of British models, who up until now have been a major contributing factor to Britain's success in the creative industries. Britain is a major player in fashion and photography, and our creativity is recognised and revered the world over. The government is failing the recognition for our creative force as a nation. The government's failure to negotiate effectively for our industry and many others is severely damaging financially as well as creatively. We have been overlooked, ignored and forgotten. Our industry brings over 27 billion to the British economy each year, and the government are effectively shrinking it beyond recognition. It is a travesty that the situation continues. This is why we support Carry On Touring's campaign to get tours and models travelling and working again in Europe, back where they belong and back to work on a world stage. I'm a real person, have a real job, and I'm responsible for the jobs and the careers of many hundreds of models, and the 22 staff who look after them are all committed to maintaining meaningful and significant work for them. I'm appealing to the government to take action now, before it's too late. Support Carry On Touring for the greater good. We really need to do something about this problem. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Pat Fulgoni, and I'm a singer, a promoter and a producer. The government's failure to negotiate effectively for touring creatives means that my career and those of many talented folks who I've worked with or assisted over the years have been put on hold due to regulations. At the present time, touring the EU again is a bit like a pipe dream, and that's why I support Carry On Touring's campaign to get tours back on the road and get us all back to work. With this government's overt discrimination against culture crystal clear in the way our sector has already been treated during this pandemic, this is pretty much a double whammy from which our sector may never fully recover.